All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're unpacking the incredibly public and, honestly, super messy breakup between singer Lily Allen and actor David Harbour. And the whole thing has been laid bare in her explosive new album, which completely unravels what, from the outside, looked like a picture-perfect marriage.
So picture this. Not too long ago, the couple does this big tour of their gorgeous New York brownstone for Architectural Digest. You know, it's the image of total domestic bliss. But the whole video kicks off with David Harbour saying this. At the time, everyone kind of laughed it off as a weird joke. But looking back now, wow, it feels less like a joke and more like the first tiny crack in a very shiny facade.
I mean, that one weird line, it really makes you wonder, right? If that's what they're showing the world, what on earth was actually going on when the cameras were off? Well, let's peel back the layers, because Lily Allen is telling her side of the story through her music.
Okay, let's dive into the album itself, because it's the catalyst for this whole public firestorm. This thing is basically her diary set to music. It's a really raw, personal narrative that maps out the total collapse of their marriage. And the story she tells? It starts with a proposal that she says she never even wanted.
According to the lyrics, the proposal wasn't for marriage. It was for an open relationship, pushed by David Harbour. And in one track, she includes this snippet of a conversation where she just sounds completely heartbroken but reluctantly agrees. It feels like she's saying she only went along with it to keep him, which, just sets a painful stage for everything to come.
So they didn't just wing it. She lays out these rules for their open marriage. And these weren't just casual suggestions. They were specific, concrete agreements. The hookups had to be purely transactional, almost like hiring an escort. And, this is the big one, absolutely no emotional connections. And these rules, they become super important for what she says happened next.
And this is where a new character enters the story, a woman Lily calls Mylene. This name just keeps popping up all over the album, and it's widely believed to be about a costume designer who worked with Harbour. According to the album's narrative, Mylene wasn't just another hookup. No, she was the one who allegedly broke all the rules.
And this is the heart of it, right here. This is the core betrayal she sings about. The lyrics suggest that Harbour developed a real, actual emotional connection with Mylene, symbolized by this phrase, playing tennis. So it wasn't just about sex anymore. It had become an emotional affair, which was a direct violation of the #1 rule they had supposedly set.
Okay, but then we get to what might be the most jaw-dropping part of the whole album. In one song, Lily describes discovering that an apartment she owned was being used as Harbour's secret spot for his affairs, and she claims she found this shoebox full of letters from other heartbroken women, along with sex toys. It just paints this picture of a whole secret life she knew nothing about.
So that's Lily's side of the story, laid out in the album. It's powerful, it's painful, and it's very compelling. But it's not the only story. To really get the full picture here, we have to look at Lily Allen's own long and often very controversial public history.
And when you look back, you see there's this whole pattern of her making headlines for all sorts of reasons. You've got accusations of cultural appropriation for a music video, a really insensitive Halloween costume making fun of Keisha's situation with Dr. Luke, and her own admissions of cheating on her first husband. It definitely adds a very complex layer to the narrative she's presenting now.
And one of the most serious incidents involves the actress Zoe Kravitz. In her memoir, Lily Allen wrote about sharing a consensual kiss, but Zoe Kravitz's response was swift and very public. She said that if by kissing she meant attacking, then yes, it happened. That stark difference between their two stories is, well, it's jarring, and it makes you question whose version of events to believe.
She's also been really open about pursuing men who were already in relationships. I mean, she actually said that finding out Oasis singer Liam Gallagher was married made him more attractive to her. So this history really complicates the simple victim narrative that you might get just from listening to the album. So where does all this leave us? Well, on one side, you have these powerful, incredibly painful allegations from her album, and on the other, you have her own well-documented history of controversy. What you're left with is a portrait of a deeply messy and maybe even a mutually toxic public breakup. Let's just break it down and put it all side by side. The allegations against Harbour from the album are serious: coercion, infidelity, deception. But at the same time, Allen's own history includes things like that non-consensual kiss allegation and admitted cheating. It's clear this isn't a simple story of a villain and a victim. It is way more complicated than that.
Now, what about the real person at the center of this, the woman behind Medellin?
Costume designer Natalie Tippett actually responded after the album came out. She didn't deny an affair, but instead she just expressed fear, saying she has a family and things she needs to protect from all this public drama, which adds another very real, very human element to the whole fallout.
And that's what it all comes down to, isn't it? Lily Allen has taken her private pain and turned it into this incredibly powerful public art. But it's art that names names and exposes secrets. In a story with two complicated people and absolutely no easy answers, it really forces us to ask, where does the performance stop and where does the truth actually begin? And maybe more importantly, what's our role as the audience in all of this?